The success you want with your specific person depends on if you're focusing on love or if you're focusing on attention. Because if we're focusing on attention, so receiving attention from our specific person, attention is a finite resource, meaning that there's only so much of it, right? But if instead we focus on love, love is infinite. You can always make and create more love. Right here and right now, you could just create massive love with your specific person. And if right now you're thinking, okay, Kyle, I kind of get this, but this doesn't make sense to me. We can relate it to actually wealth because this idea is originally a wealth idea that I'm explaining in the terms of manifesting a specific person. So I want you to think about money, okay? Is there enough money to go around? And you may say no, right? But you're in the manifestation community and law of assumption, so you know there's unlimited abundance. But the average person would say there's not enough money to go around, right? And everyone is looking for money when they're trying to manifest wealth. And so in this case, attention in the essence of our specific person is money, and wealth in this instance is love. And I want you to think about how wealth is infinite, money is finite, in the same way as attention is finite and love is infinite. So let's say, and I'll prove it right here and right now, because you're probably like, I don't know, Kyle, because this is also in this video, we're going to cure your worries towards your specific person, but also we're going to simultaneously cure any worries that you have towards money. Because money, we don't really want money, right? And I know it seems like we want attention from our specific person, but truly we don't want that either. We don't want money, we want wealth. And we don't want attention, we want love, right? And so that's why money is limited, because it's a physical thing that we're looking for. But let's say wealth, and you still may be thinking, Kyle, what are you even talking about? You still have not told me how wealth is infinite. But wealth is infinite because think about any person, maybe on like Etsy or something like that, who creates something, brings a bunch of resources together, and then creates something of value that someone may have paid a few cents for the materials. Now they're paying like $10, $20, $30 for this finished product. Where did that wealth come from, right? And if we're focusing exclusively chasing the money aspect, we're going to be limited because we will always be in a sense of not having enough because money is finite. And I'll explain how this happens, or this goes with our specific person as well. But if instead we chase our wealth, we go for the wealth, we go for the end feeling, we're going to find everything comes so much easier. So that's how wealth is instantly created, and why we want to focus on wealth. If you're I know this whole video is actually about manifesting a specific person, but if you're manifesting money, that's a way to do it as well. But I want you guys to think about manifesting love or attention. Most of the time, and I would say almost all the time, when we're manifesting our specific person, we're looking for attention, right? Like even right now, what are you attempting to manifest at this current moment? And you might say like a phone call, a text message, right? And when we focus on that, that's like focusing on money, because then attention, as we know, like more of it can be created in the same way that we can print more money. But we feel at any given time, there's only so much to go around. And this puts us into a lack mindset, right? But love, on the other hand, that is infinite. And you can receive more of it right here and right now without any conditions or circumstances being met. And I'll prove it. So let's think of a time before you knew your specific person. If love wasn't infinite, where did your love come from that was created when you knew them or saw them or were like, they're the person that I want, right? You created all this love that seemingly came out of nowhere. So love is infinite. And the more, as I mentioned, the more we focus on something finite, the more we feel as if we are struggling to get enough, and we think other people are going to take it, right? Like that's what creates the essence of a third party. Other people are going to take the attention or other things, text messages, phone calls, stuff like that from us or from our specific person that they should be giving to us. But when you think about love, love is your specific person can like it's almost a way to eliminate third parties entirely, because your specific person can love their family, love their kids, love their friends, and love you with just as much love to spare. The example I always like to use is the essence of like a candle. Like you can light a million candles with one candle, and that candle never goes out. That's love. And so what we want to do, because still you might be thinking, so how do I implement this? To implement it, we want to then focus on love. That's our end state. Don't focus, and as Neville Goddard would say, this would be focusing on the middle. Don't focus on attention. That's only going to make us feel finite, because if we're focusing on text messages, phone calls, things like that, we feel limited. But when we focus on love with our specific person, and if you're not feeling this right now, that's okay. Think about this idea, because focusing on this love aspect completely eliminates any circumstances you feel are in your way. Because love can overcome and get rid of all of that. In the same way, when you're focusing on wealth, you want wealth, like back to the finance idea. You want wealth. You want things that money buys. You don't want money. You don't care, and I know this sounds funny, you don't care about your specific person texting you. You think it leads you to the relationship, and that's why you want it, right? And so in that case, focus on the end. And that's what Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, everyone in the law of assumption community talks about, why we should be focusing completely for the end, because that's what we want. And the more we focus on the middle, the finite, because really, I know I'm saying it's finite. Nothing is finite in our reality, truly, but it's how we experience it in the 3D. So don't focus on what is finite, because really you can I've helped people manifest like hundreds of messages and calls and stuff like that, but you will find that you get to your end state or your manifestation a lot. I was gonna say a million times faster, but I'll just keep it a lot faster if you focus on exactly what you want. Because like I mentioned, we don't actually care about a text message from our specific person. It does feel very good and very awesome, and you will receive them thinking we're manifesting for the end. But we don't really care about text message right here and right now. You care about being in a relationship with your specific person, spending time, creating love, right? Getting married, things like that. And those have nothing to do with this middle finite resource. Like, what are you going to do with money, right? If the apocalypse or something happened, which that can't happen because we're going to manifest it away. But like, let's say if there was ever a time that money changed or something like that, you would have no use for it, right? It would instantly lose value, and you'd realize instantly, I never cared about money, right? And truly, would you rather right now pick a text message from your specific person or a relationship with your specific person? If you could have one right here and right now. And that focus is actually, it can totally change the way that you actually approach your manifestation and approach your reality, and actually see much, much more movement, because then we're focusing on exactly what we want. Because again, I know I'm saying this over and over again, but it's so powerful to understand. When we're focusing on text messages, we feel like we need more, because you could have 1,000, 1,000,000 text messages, and that doesn't get you to your relationship that you're looking for, right? So if instead we focus on exactly what we want, that's how you get there. It's kind of like, I used this example before of, let's say you're going to any sort of location, like let's say you want to go to the airport. Along the way, you might pass the pharmacy, the supermarket, things like that. And anyone on this channel knows this example. You may pass all those things, which are signs and indicators that you're going to where you want to go, but they're not necessarily the end of where you want to go, right? They are just indicators that you're along the way. You wouldn't want to stop at any single one of those. And that's what the middle or the bridge of events is with our specific person. Getting more text messages, getting more phone calls, going on dates, that's all the middle of what we're going for, which is dating or marriage or whatever it is that you want. So focus on the end. Understand the middle doesn't matter, because I know right now, and it's okay, I've done the same exact thing. If you're kind of worrying right now about text messages or not receiving communication from your specific person. Isn't that crazy how we actually don't even care about that? We're actually going for something else, but because we're focused on that middle, it causes us to worry about it. In the same way that, like, think about money. Like, you may feel at this current state, this current moment, you don't have enough money, but you don't even want money, right? So when you focus on money, you want the things that money buys, like the house, like, right? So in that case, it actually is crazy that we convince ourselves to worry about something that we don't even care about at all. And as we begin to actually focus on that, your mind will shift. All of your anxiety is going to disappear, completely dissipate. And you'll notice you start focusing on what you actually want, what you actually desire. And then that's how things show up in your reality, not by focusing on what you don't have or the finite. Focus on the infinite, okay? Hopefully this made sense, because as I was explaining it, I was like, I feel like I could make this into an hour-long video. And I know I reiterated some of the same things, but that's because some of these ideas, if you understand it totally, like as soon as this clicks in your mind, I get messages all the time. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was going to show you on my phone. My phone's right there, but I have other success stories of people like, oh my gosh, that idea, I didn't understand at first. It clicked and my specific person showed up. So I know, just think about this idea, meditate on it. Just think about, where is our focus? Is it on the finite or on the infinite? And you're going to notice a huge difference in everything you do and the success that you get. But any comments, comment them down below. Any questions, ideas, things like that. If you did want to send me a personal question, head over to my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com, where, again, tell me all your successes, tell me all of your fears, anxieties, amazing ideas, thoughts. I'm literally here to help you every single step of the way. So don't feel like you're bothering me too. It just may, just give me some time to get back to you. So don't feel like if you sent me a message, then I'm ignoring it. I'm not. I'm just trying to get you the best answer possible. But thanks so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.